and welcome to Straight Talk. Tonight, I have to start with an apology. Sorry for the delay in transmission. It's all due to some circumstances, as usual, beyond our control. We've been able to resolve it. So better late than never. And so I hope you bear with and stay with us. Tonight on Straight Talk, I have, or should I say we, NFM Television, have two eminent politicians, two persons of the higher echelons of the opposition party in Ghana, NDC. They are, I'm told, in UK, or not just on holidays or anything, but they came to perform certain functions, certain duties. What they came in for later, I'll ask them to explain to us. But I have the pleasure and the honor to welcome Mr. Joseph Yammin, who is the national organizer for the NDC, and Mr. Mustapha Gbande, and he is the Deputy General Secretary. Gentlemen, welcome to NFM TV.
Thank you.
Obviously, we have had a delay a bit because of some technical issues, but we are here now. As the engineer said, we can get going now. For those of us who want to view us on Facebook, Facebook is giving us a headache. So we are on YouTube. Kindly bear with you. We are on YouTube. And the engineers are still, in fact, one is here, two of them are doing remote control things. They will sort it out, how to link it from the YouTube to other channels so that if anybody, but it will be recorded anyway, so you can still view it later on. Anyway, like I said, welcome to NFM TV. Mr. Yammin, if I will start with you, this is not the first time we need to mix the language up, because I know many people speak Twi, and I know many people who don't understand it as well. So we got to mix everything up. But this is not the first time we've met before, and since then you haven't changed a bit. If anything, you are looking much more handsome, handsome than I am doing. Anyway, what has brought you guys here to the UK in the first place?
Okay, thank you very much, and good evening to your viewers. It's a delight to be back to your studios, even though it was the radio. Today we are doing the TV.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm happy to have come back with the victory I promised you the last time, because I launched my campaign here to be a national organizer. And I had your blessing at that moment, and so I'm here today with the cap that I'm the national organizer of the great NDC. I'm here with my brother Mustapha Gbande, the Deputy General Secretary of the party. We came here purposely for two events. One is for the Labour Conference in Liverpool. So represented the party. You know, Labour Party is a sister party to the NDC. Sure. And so anytime they are having their conference, we get an invite. And so we're here to attend it, which we have. Then the NDC UK Ireland chapter elections were put on hold for certain reasons. And it was clear that we could come and organize it. So we are here to do the elections for them, which successfully we were able to conduct. And so these two official programs off the line, then we are free to have our vacation. And one of them is to come back to your studios for. And we are here because we know of the wide coverage you cover. We know that you are a journalist that we can call, a true journalist, not the agenda-setting journalist. And so when we come here, we know that we are going to speak to genuine Ghanaians. We are going to speak to Ghanaians that really wants to hear.
This program, the title or the name of the program was Straight Talk.
Straight Talk.
Yes,
You say it as it
no
is.
obfuscation, no double speak, no ambiguity. Straight talk.
No, not at all. And no reason you are a Barras boy. So I understand that we Barras boys have the culture of the military in
Exactly.
us. So,
Exactly.
Yeah. So we are here just done with our official duties. What is left for us is to see the beauty of this country and also to attend and get to socialize a little and go back to continue our job.
Talking about beauty of this country, we all wish we can say the beauty of our countries all over Africa.
Of course.
It's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, this country, of course, this country.
There's something we have to work towards.
Ruled us some years back, gave us independence.
Yeah, it's high time we found our bearings. It's high
but
time.
Of course, the reason why Ghanaians made a mistake by voting out John Mahama and the NDC government is what you are talking about, because the kind of infrastructure
I'm going to ask you a lot
put us in this very
I'm going to
beautiful
ask you a
state.
lot about what Ghanaians should expect and why Ghanaians should trust the country and trust the whole country into your hands again. Let me go to Chief Gbande. Your position, I would say, is more administration in a sense. You are deputy secretary. Secretary is always already almost like second in command of administration. Then a deputy, you are completely, or do you do in-house politicking or just what is it you do? You just want to know.
So thank you very much, and I'm here on behalf of my general secretary. However, I'm the shadow lieutenant to my organizer. I'm actually the deputy general secretary in charge of operations of the party.
Okay.
And when you are general secretary, it is not just about meeting and minutes.
Okay.
It's about the general administration of the party. A political party, apart from its social importance, is also a vehicle for election organization.
Sure.
Giving birth to a government. And one of the core functions of the general secretary is to rally around all the departments, make sure that we're able to birth a government. And so that is our core mandate, and we are mostly engaged in organization because that is a skill set that I have.
Yes.
It's a passion to be on the field, to work, and so I'm privileged to be working with the national organizer of the party so that shoulder to shoulder we can complement ourselves and make sure that the party is on track. Again, the party required at this point in time some particular skill set, some particular class of people to be able to go to war with. And I think that I have that character that my senior brother, the national organizer, have. And so we'll be able to organize. So far, the party is well organized. We are ready for 2024. Just as we came here a week ago and our chapter, our revered UK chapter, which is one of the oldest chapters of the NDC, produced a lot of people. Very
if you ask them, they will tell you, I've been telling them, what a shame.
Exactly.
What a shame. That's the word, phrase I use.
I have told them that they have made a name for themselves. Before we came here, the flag bearer, the party, the national chairman, the general secretary himself, all stakeholders were worried about UK Ireland chapter. And so they've made a name for themselves for the wrong reasons. They are a very popular chapter across the world as one of the vibrant chapters that we have. And we quite understand their problem. The problem is mistrust among members. And so last week we were able to restore that trust. They have a leader. And that is how prepared the NDC is, because we have a direct, cut-edged focus. Our focus is very sharp. We know where we are going to. We've been able to give them leadership. They have accepted that leadership. And I think on Saturday, surprisingly, they have immediately come together to organize a victory party in terms of reorganizing themselves around the new leadership to also appreciate the old leadership so that we can move together. And that is the project of the new NDC. The new NDC is one that is project specific. That is one purpose driven. The NDC that believes that we must be together. We must trust ourselves to give Ghanaians the best that they want. The NDC cannot afford to renege on its core responsibility of restoring this country back to where it has to be. Future of generations are at stake. Legacy of forefathers are at stake. Our children are at stake. That is where the country Ghana is. And that is the project of the NPP. And so we are young and we are leading that project with passion. And so that is what exactly. So General Secretary is not somebody who sits in the office. You may not be hearing from my General Secretary because a party
I can even say he's hiding away from me because I've tried him several times.
That's not him. You know, if you recall, General Asedun Ketia was much vociferous.
Yes.
When he was a General Secretary than when he became a national chairman.
Well, even that he has spoken to me twice.
You know, the General Secretary would have to make sure.
So we understand his point. He needs the General Secretary.
You need the General Secretary.
It's as simple as that.
Straight
we are going to convey your message to him.
It's important to let you know
that he's been busy. Okay, fair enough. With all due respect, I'm not trying to undermine this. But talking about preparedness of NDC, I will come to the organizer, but administration and you are supposed to help. Let's clear this current impasse. There's a current impasse. There was an issue recently. You guys, I think you are organizing yourself for some by-election, parliamentary selection, something like that. And all of a sudden, something untoward. I mean, something that you guys wouldn't want to happen. There was confusion, throwing about of chairs here and there. Then a certain journalist apparently was assaulted, abused, or manhandled, whatever. Really, that is not very clever, is it?
It's very unfortunate, but the truth of it must be told in all uncertain terms. Is quite condemnable, quite unfortunate. It is also something that is not strange, particularly when you have interest from all angles.
Yes.
It's something that could have happened in these recent UK elections.
Yes.
But it has to take the referees ourselves to be very objective.
The reason why I'm asking this is that, look, you guys, you are telling Ghanaians maybe there's a lot you've learnt.
Yes.
We have to be very specific and frank and say, mistakes were made 2016 prior to and the rest. That's all right. So you've learnt a lot.
Yeah.
So for this to happen, they
are great. Look, the fact is that they were vetting for parliamentary aspirants. A particular candidate was qualified by the vetting committee.
Yes.
Then another candidate incited his supporters. This candidate believed that without the candidate who was qualified, he can win the election.
Okay.
And so he got his supporters.
Yes.
The people who are involved.
Because your opponents are saying that, you also attack media people the same as.
That is not to say that the assurance we give Ghanaians will be minus our own challenges.
Okay.
The party will come with its own challenge. We are managing people.
Sure.
We are managing interests. We are managing emotions. At sometimes, people will lose their emotion, and these things are expected. The NDC differences will be one that would not send our people to go and attack public institutions of journalism. enter into people's space and cause confusion. These are MDC members who, because of a support for a particular candidate, has gone to destroy. In actual fact, what actually happened to the journalist is that she was at the place when the event started, when the confusion started. But she was recording, she was filming the young men.
The incidents.
The incidents. And so the young men didn't know.
Which she is, or she was, how do I say it? She had every right to do.
As a journalist. So this young man then held her hands and took her phone, another level of misconduct. But what is good is that 5 minutes after the incident, I was monitoring everything from here.
Yes.
I phoned her and called her management. 5 minutes after the incident.
I was going to ask you a question that since, while you are not there, how have you dealt with, because I know if it was apology letter and the rest, you were going to...
Look, 5 minutes after the incident,
it's good job you are telling us this.
I informed my national organizer, because I was monitoring from here. We spoke directly to the management of the lady. She's our common friend. She comes to our office, to do interviews and all of that. I called her. I sent the deputy elections director of our party to go and speak to them. I also informed the deputy national communication officer, Godwin Akugan, who then followed up. This is the level at which we got involved. Subsequently, Sami Jemfi, the communications officer of our party, also followed up. You have had the elections director of our party, Honorable Dr. Amanebu also followed up with a phone call. The director of international relations, Alex Sebefia, who was the chairman of the vetting committee at that moment, also called. We've tried to check on the young lady. It's not something bad that really happened to her.
So almost the whole hierarchy have taken this seriously.
Exactly. So I can assure you that this is something that is an act of misconduct. We anticipated misconduct from our members. That is why we have Article 48 in our constitution, that when you misconduct yourself, the party will immediately set in motion disciplinary process. Because a party that is government in waiting should be able to control its members. And we use the law to control people, not force. And so when a member misconducts his or herself, the law allows disciplinary process to initially be set in motion to deal with. And we're going to deal with that as a party.
Thank you very much. You are listening to Mansa Musa. The program is straight talk, and I've said it already here. There's no obfuscation and there is no ambiguity, no double speak, just straight. Let me go to Mr. Organizer. The previous organizer, was it Akamba?
Yeah.
Okay. 2020, you guys had very few MPs. Your guys are arguing that, in fact, you won more seats than the MPP, but for certain reasons, that is your argument. So one will say, the guy did well. So why have you overtaken him? Well, why have people chosen you over Akamba? And what? Maybe it's not a fair question, but I want to ask you, what is it that you bring that is better, which can maybe get you over the line?
Well, Musa, it's not about whether somebody performed or didn't perform. It's about a party structure. So you call it a formality that every 4 years in Ghana, whether you perform or you don't perform, the people are given the mandate to decide on you. And whether you want to go or somebody else, if you don't want to go, somebody else will go.
Sure.
And so at every point in time, you will have to go through these processes. And I felt that I have what it takes to come onto the scene as the national organizer of the party. Initially, people didn't agree because they know me from the secretary background. I used to be the regional secretary for Ashanti region. He was the deputy regional secretary for Vota region. So people thought that if there was any position for me to contest, then I should go for the general secretary of the party since the national chairman was going. But I think that looking at me at this particular moment, looking at the party at this particular moment, we need more energetic people on the ground.
Sure.
And I think that I have what it takes to be on the ground 24 hours, 365 days. So I put myself up. I tell the people, it's not about somebody's performance.
Sure.
It's about how are we going to tackle the elections ahead of us.
Yes.
How are we going to face the opponent that we have? And there are certain things that goes into it. So you tell the people, I tell the people. But we believe that Yammin has what it takes, judging from what I've done, what I am doing, and looking at what I could do. And that is why they decided that it's me. So it's not about performance of a particular person.
Did the Ashanti background had anything to do with the consideration, people's consideration, or you think?
Oh, no, I'm not sure that is the reason. But the point is that if you are going into an election and you have your base supporting you, you have an advantage. And fortunately, I had so many bases. I come from the Upper West. They took full control that is our son. I've lived all my life in Ashanti region.
Yes.
Fortunately for me, that's the biggest constituency in the party.
Yes.
And I had 95% of the people believing that Yammin is the kind of person we need as a national organizer, not just because he's coming from Ashanti region. And so if you have that backing, then you are confident enough going into the election. But touring the whole country, I believe the delegates decided based on what I have done before, what I am doing against what I am preaching as to whether I have what it takes to be able to deliver. And they believed in that and will give me a mandate which they will review 4 years from the day they elected me.
I see. Yeah. So what is it with Ashanti? I mean, given the tradition and, you know, the how do we say it? It's almost like their hatred for everything NDC. How sure are you that this time around you have a hard work on your hands convincing Ashantis that you guys can do better? You know, like I said, given the tradition of not wanting to dance with NDC. How do you do that? Do you have any way of convincing the Ashantis that you can do better, or they should rely on, they can rely on you?
Well, you see, going into any election, you have your base, like I said earlier. So in UK, the Labour Party has its base. Going into any election, you know that this group of people will can. In US, you know that this is blue, this is red. In Ghana, there are areas.
Where we are sitting is a base for the Labour Party.
That's right. Yes. So going into an election, you know that these things will go this line. So it is normal to have some regions, I mean, wholly supporting a political party. But the votes that comes out from there sometimes is related to your performance if you've been in government before, or the message you hold, just opposing it with the candidate you are presenting. And so in 2016, there was this wind of change that was blowing. And the wind of change blinded the people of Ashanti, even though it's not our base, but we believe very well we're going to perform better than we've been doing. And that was why we set ourselves for the agenda 1 million votes in Ashanti, looking at the performance of the government. But the wind of change blinded them, made them deaf, that they could not see, they couldn't hear. An example is that I did science at the secondary school. So my mates that have gone to...
You mean proper science? I mean, not, sorry for you, but science as in natural science?
So I was a science student. I was a science student.
Okay.
Pure science student.
Oh, pure science.
So my mates, are, some of them are today are medical doctors.
Okay, fair enough. Now got it.
So one of them, who after 2016, saw me go take a video of an abandoned project in Ashanti, the military hospital, 500 military hospital.
Where is it?
In Aferi.
Aferi, okay.
Yeah. So I was.
It's always good to mention names, so you're mean. Yeah.
That's right. I was streaming it live on my Facebook. Then he called me. He is a consultant at Konfanochi. He lectures at KNUST. So he called me and said, "Senior, did you guys do this?" I said, "Yes. This was the state we left it. And 2 years now, I mean, that was 2018. This is how it is now." Then he told me that you have a problem. And it means that you guys have a lot of work to do. I said, "Why?" He said, "I'm a medical doctor. I'm likely to be working in this facility. I'm in this region. I don't know." And I told him that we have 6 of this kind in Ashanti region alone. Unfortunately, the people who passes through these hospitals were just of the opinion that, oh, things are hard. I mean, Anadu says you give 1 million to each constituency. He says you make one dam, one village, or whatever. They were not looking at the impact of these hospitals. For instance, 37, you talk about, you have Bema Camp trained guy born there.
Yes.
37 is not as it is now.
Yes.
Bema Camp today has developed.
Exactly.
It used to be bush.
Yes.
Serious forest.
Yes. My school, Arakan, is, behind Arakan, that was our park used to be the back of a champion's house.
That's right.
And the rest is all bush,
Today it's not like that. I'm sure if you get to Bema Camp, you get missing because of the development. 37, it didn't used to be like that. It was just a small hospital. You had all the back bush. Today, you can't find a tree around 37. All the place is covered. And this is what development brings.
Exactly.
Development, putting up any infrastructure, opens up for employment, apart from beautification. Today we are moving around. We went to a place called O2, something, and the architectural design of the thing, everything is so beautiful.
Yes.
Apart from the beauty of it, which we got so amazed in getting into it, and we are taking pictures because it's beautiful. The number of people that are employed in that building is unbelievable. This is just a small something.
Yes.
The number of items that you will go in there and get is unbelievable. And so putting up one hospital is going to open up employment opportunities for former students, doctors, nurses, accountants, whatever.
All these things. See all this you are saying, it's like, it's your friend doctor was trying to say, maybe you guys kept preaching to the already converted. Why is it that because look, everybody, let me tell you one instance. 90s, 95, 96, 97, I used to work construction site, a place called Mabulaj. We went to the top of the building. That time it was about 26 story, not too high, very top, and the guy was working, the foreman, Irish guy, so we look at it and say, "Oh, that's good." And I said, "What is good?" He said, "Look at these cranes everywhere." He said, "When the cranes are on the skyline, any city you go and the cranes are working, it means the economy is good." So when you guys are putting up the cranes and pouring loads of concrete, you still didn't tell me. That's your friends. You didn't tell the people.
Of course. So now coming to your point, I was just trying to explain what the expansion of these things and the reason why we expect some votes from Ashanti this time around is the comparison between the two political parties that will be vying for the position. We have eight years to compare.
Yes.
One came in, developed the region.
Yes.
One has come in, has deteriorated the region as far as development is concerned, because I cite Kijetia should be completed by now. It is not. These hospitals are still in the bush, the schools are in the bushes, the roads are not being constructed and all these things. And so the people will be looking at who does the region benefit from when they are in power. That is going to go to our advantage. And it did, because after 2016, Nanado had 75% because the wind of change, and it was covering the eyes of people as to the beauty of what we were doing, putting up airport, schools, hospitals, roads, and all these things. But in 2020, we believe they stalled. Even when they stalled, their votes came down from 75 to 71%. It means that the people are really doing contrasting and adding and subtracting. And so we believe very well, with a lot of work being done now, getting our messages down to the people, organizing ourselves very well, making our party very attractive, and going beyond the already converted, we should see more votes coming from. We can't win Ashanti region, but I think that we have what it takes to get 30% of the votes from Ashanti region this time round, with a different strategy going into the election.
Before I get back to Mr. Gbande, let me ask you specifically. You are here sitting in front of Mansa Musa. Tell me, if you can list it off your fingertips, which of the projects are we talking about that you guys have put in Ashanti that has not been completed, those that have been completed, and as compared to what Ashanti should expect from Nanado that Nanado has done? I mean, let's be fair. Has he done anything? Schools, airports, Buankra, what is it? Can you tell us specifically what you guys done, which is there that you may, for the benefits of Ashantis and for Ghanaians as a whole, if you guys come, you are going to look the money anywhere, how, and get it completed. What are these? Can you tell us?
Okay, yeah, I can do that. Fortunately, I was a deputy minister in the region, so I don't need to go into a book to want to put these things. We started 6 new hospitals. 6. The Afari Hospital is a 500-bed hospital. The Sewia Hospital, which is the regional hospital, is 250-bed hospital. The Tepa Hospital, which is a district hospital, is a 60-bed hospital. Konongo, which is a district hospital, which is a 60-bed hospital. Fomena is a district hospital, which is a 120-bed. Kumau is a district hospital with 120 beds. This is the project started by John Dramani Mahama from 2013 to 2016. He completed the one started by President Kufuor. That is the Bekwai Hospital. So that is in terms of health. These are what I can. This is minus polyclinics, minus cheap compounds.
Okay. Don't mention polyclinics. So, Agenda 111. Can you name what has been added to what you are
saying? Not at all, 0.
You sure?
0. Not because one single program.
Last week there was a gentleman here, and I mean he had every right to try to play the devil's advocate. So he brought pictures. This has been done. This has been done.
From where?
Well, in Ashanti region, this,
Okay.
Straight off, but we are not talking about it. I only want to talk about the hospital because you see, the reason why I want to talk about, maybe if I was 20 years or 30, maybe even 40, I wouldn't think about hospital. But now, Mansa Musa, I don't look like the commando I used to use. So you are thinking about hospitals.
Yeah, of course.
Look, put our jokes aside, it's very, very necessary. You have mentioned the 6. Are you saying for 7 getting to 8 years, Kufuor and his government have not completed these ones, and they have not built
not at all.
Any
not a single one. Not a
even
single
on the Agenda 111.
Not a single one. Last month, if you go to my Facebook, Agenda 111 for almost 2 years that it started in Adansi Akufo. The breaking of the ground is still the same. Not even a concrete has been put in there. Meanwhile, this is a project that's supposed to be completed in a year. The very one that was started in my constituency,
yes,
Achumako, that is Trede,
yes,
which was the first project to start under Agenda 111. It's not even up to roofing stage. It's supposed to be supposed to be completed in a year. So tell me which hospital. Let any MPP man come here and tell me that in 7 years of Nanado's administration, this hospital has been, completed by Nanado Danko, started by Nanado and completed. No, zero. What they came to meet, and the ones I have mentioned, the least among them was 70% complete. That is the Kumawu.
Okay.
As you speak now, the ones that were completed, like the military hospital, which was 92% complete under John Mahama in 2016, is still lying down.
Kumasi and Ashanti people, Ashanti region, they are Kotobetofo, they are entrepreneurs, business, buy and sell people. How many markets did you or have you built, and how many have the NPP
So if you
built?
go to, before we tackled Kejetia, and we've redesigned, we built Kejetia into a modern structure. That today you go to Kejetia, you can trade when there's rain. It used not to be so. So Kejetia is more of a shopping mall today.
Yes.
And the second phase, which is the central market,
Sure.
7 years of Nanado's administration is still stagnant. In fact, the contractor who comes from this part of your world, who is handling that hospital, market has abandoned work. He sacked 1,500 workers and he has left the country. So the project is lying down there. But before they started work on Kejetia, we built the Atonsu market. It's in use.
Okay.
We did the Aswasi market. It's in use. We did the Tafu market. It is in use. So under John Dramani Mahama, in 4 years, 3 settler markets were built.
Yes.
But Kwadasu market, of course, also added. Then the whole Kejetia was also built.
Sure.
Nana Danko Akufo-Addo is unable to complete the central market, and we can't boast of a single district or constituency market built by Nana Danko Akufo-Addo. So in terms of the trade you are talking about, the only party that comes and people have very serene environment to trade is the NDC government. And that's why we believe very well that it is a contributing factor to John Mahama's popularity. Anytime he gets to Ashanti region, people go out there to want to go and see him. People now see him as a messiah. People see him that, wow, what at all does this man have? And was able to do what he did. Because it's unbelievable. In 4 years, you can put 6 hospitals. And in 7 years, we cannot talk of one from a party that we have given our support to. Then this man.
So what is it that we can say Akufo-Addo and his people have done in Ashanti region or Kumasi that you guys didn't do or haven't done? What is it that, in terms of infrastructure?
No. See, what they have come to do that I would want to praise them is their ability to destroy what was built.
No, we are being serious.
Yeah, of course. That's
are
what,
you telling me that in terms of infrastructure, I mean, how can that happen? Because for what is worth, for crying out loud, the Ashantis, Asantefo, they happily, with love, will run over each other, trip over each other to go and vote for MPP.
Yeah.
So why?
No. So I'm telling you, in terms of secondary schools, Adujama had a brand new secondary school, shortcut, raised to the top. That's community secondary school. Pakoso had one. Agrek Nzema had one. Adujama had one. Adubera had one. I've given you 5.
And these were built by MPP?
John Dramani Mahama.
Oh, I thought you were mentioning
No,
MPP.
no. So I'm coming there. This, in addition to 5 others that were left at various stages of completion, 80%, some completed, are still in the bush. The Drobonso one is still left there because Nanado says that they want to turn it into a boarding house. And for 7 years, I've not been able to put up a dormitory for the use of the school. As we speak now, Nanado came in and cast sword for 2 schools. 7 years now, they have not been able to complete a single one of them. One, they named their President Kufuor.
Mr. Yammin, I don't doubt your integrity, but note that this program is being recorded.
I am here, and I'm telling you, not that I'm from I live in Ashanti region. These projects I'm talking from John Mahama were projects that I was a deputy minister and fortunate to be part of this. The Nanado administration, let anyone come in here and challenge me that they have built this school, they dug the ground, they completed in 2, 3, 4, 5 years. None of them. What they boast of is what my daughter or my son can do. If you ask them, they say, oh, we have built 6 classroom block, 12 classroom block on existing campuses. I said, no, this is not to work. Because this is something that every government does.
Yes.
Because
we are talking about major infrastructure work.
It is out of the GET fund.
But
major work that you sit and say that this is a school. I want to give a school, not a single one.
As we speak, what is the state of Buankra?
Buankra Inland Port is now beginning. Contractors have moved on to site.
Yeah.
You know, Buankra is a PPP.
Yes. Public private partnership. Yeah,
so
PPP. We did
the government do not.
It doesn't matter whether.
No, of course. I just want to.
Yeah.
So as at now,
at least that
the last time we checked, that was in June or so, July. The partners of the contractor who won the bid for Buankra Inland Port came in to give some amount to him for him to. So they've moved in there to start the project, but it's just at the groundbreaking stage.
I remember very well 2016, prior to 2016, the mantra was interchange in ABD and those sort of things. Why do you think, let me ask Mr. Gbande, why do you think Ghanaians, especially we those not with so much big letters, don't see infrastructure as a driver? It is the basis for which economies are built on. I tell you, this country, they are also, you see everything nice, but they are arguing in Parliament that their infrastructure is falling apart. You go to US, they are talking about trillions to build new infrastructure, because the ones they built in the 50s and they think it is getting its over its sell by date or something. Why do you think our people don't appreciate infrastructure? And for that matter, if a government comes in and they are not making that effort, that big, I remember that word your captain was using, big push. Big push. That big. Why are Ghanaians not appreciating? Why do you think that mentality is there? Tell me if you.
They do appreciate these things. However, I believe that in the last 8 years, I haven't been to the hospital. I may not appreciate the argument in favor of hospitals.
Okay.
60% of Ghanaians live in the villages.
Okay.
In the rural areas where we all come from.
Yes.
My mother had about 11 children. She never went to the hospital. So such a woman, when you are talking to her about hospitals, she may not appreciate. She comes to Accra only because her children have relocated from the village to Accra once a while. She doesn't appreciate the importance of a good road. So a country where poverty is very high, the conversation about infrastructure is visionary. Now we have a day-to-day needs and demands that people must satisfy. But if you don't undertake the long-term infrastructure project, you cannot secure the stability of the economy.
Exactly.
It takes time for maturity to come on board.
Yes.
And so we have a government that says, let me discipline myself, discipline the people I move with. Let us be visionary. Let's give the country good roads. So if you go to, say, from Akosombo, if you are going to the north today, you have two options. You can use Atimpoku, you can use Peve, Bando, Dambai, and go to the north.
Sure.
You can also use Jas Hohoi, Jasikai, Nkwanta, Pasa, and go to the north. I grew up from Dambai. Today, as we speak, if you are going there, you need about 4 or 5 hours, and you are in the north. But if you use the other round, you need about 8 hours. If you use through the Ashanti region, you need about 9 or 10 hours
Jesus Christ.
to get to the north. So that's the importance of infrastructure.
Yes.
It takes people who participate in the hustle to understand this. You have a government that came at the back of, I'll give you money, I've put money in your pocket. Which government put money in people's pocket without infrastructure? The people want to see the money. One district, one factory. I'll build factories in your area, you get jobs. If Nanado built one district, one factories, if they undertook that project, Ghanaians would be at rest. But it was not for them to fulfill, it was for them to deceive. That's why they didn't do it in the first place. I'll build one village.
That's not proper, clever politicking, is it? Because obviously, if they had done that, then they would have got the love of the people.
Nanado never came as a president to do anything good.
No. What I'm saying is, in politics, you've got to be clever.
That's what I'm saying.
He
never came in power to do anything good to Ghana.
So I'll build for him to come and explain later.
One district, one factory.
Yes.
Forgetting that in the Kwahu areas, they are mountainous area. One village, one dam. In the Kwahu areas, they are mountainous areas.
Let's be factual. Let's trivialize it. Look, if you say one village, one dam, we all assumed that it is where they will need it. So don't put, let's say, even Kwahu there. So let's assume that where they need it. So the north, it's a vast area.
The only dam
have they done that?
The only dam we have in the Upper East on the record is Garu Dam. It was built by John Dramani Mahama.
Oh, really?
And do you know the person who championed the one village, one dam? Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the vice president, who incidentally comes from the north.
Yes.
He ought to appreciate the importance of a dam to the farmers in the north.
Exactly.
But guess what? They never undertook a single dam project. What they did was to take the money from World Bank, distribute the money to their party chairman to do dugouts. And those dugouts, there's no water in them. So they chop the money. That is why we are saying that John Dramani Mahama will come back to government and will hold these individuals highly accountable.
I'm really happy you are saying this.
Now let me tell you something.
Go on.
You've spoken about Ashanti region. Nanado and the MPP that is in government today is at a warfare. It is not about Ghana. It is not about the MPP. It is about making Nanado and Oforipenyin powerful in Ghana. And so the Ashantis, who are the bread basket or the vote baskets of the MPP, are being fought because there's a long-standing generational battle that Nanado is the ringleader today. Let me just bring you to one important thing that
Go ahead.
If you read the Ajapadia document, a president who is in power have your cronies develop a document, a very evil manifestation of a document to sideline all other sects of the country, promote and empower Achims ahead of Ashantis to ensure that they are in control. If you read the foreword, if you allow me just 2 minutes, let me read.
Go ahead.
It says that, and if you come down the foreword of the document, he says, we conclude, he says that the foreword, I'll come back to that, the foreword as we go. If you read that document, it is telling you how they want to ensure, deceptively ensure that Ghanaians do not realize that they have a game plan. And the game plan is that let us kill all individuals who are financially powerful in the country. Let us kill all businesses that do not belong to Achims.
Not literally kill, but destroy their.
Kill them, destroy. That's why they collapse banks. To ensure that Data Bank is in charge. To ensure that they will bring in another bank to be their bank by proxy. Let us ensure that the MPP in Ashanti region does not take over the MPP now. Because we don't want Ashantis to be in charge, let us give it to a non-Ashanti in that document. That document was produced before 2016. Today, what they have done is to ensure that whatever it is, Bawumia becomes a continuation of Akufo-Addo's agenda. So Bawumia is being used as a vehicle to advance the Achim agenda against the Ashantis. And so let us give power to somebody we trust, somebody we can manipulate, somebody who can cover up. Bawumia is a cover-up candidate for the power of Akufo-Addo. So they made sure that Alan Chimantin, who is the pride of the Ashantis, is booted out of the party. That is why Kennedy is after them. John Mahama is going to come back into power to put this country to the right place. Let me tell you, as a party today, as we speak, we have elected about 80% of our parliamentary candidates across the country. No problem, no crisis. We have our flag bearer.
Except the one that happened in Accra recently.
Well, we'll get to, once we get into Ghana, that issue will be resolved.
Go ahead.
We have elected a flag bearer. Fortunately for us, all the other individuals who contested John Dramani Mahama are on board campaigning with John Dramani Mahama. Dr. Kwabena Duffuor is today a key person in terms of our 2024 campaign. Kojo Bonsu, Honorable Kojo Bonsu, who also contested, is on board fully to campaign for John Dramani Mahama. The party, we just had inaugurated some of our key directories that we have created to make sure the party is in good shape to bring John Mahama as a president back. Now, we've created several directories. Today, we have put together an election directorate, which is a core function of the party, headed by a former minister of communication. And you know what that means? What that means is that he has an oversight in terms of what communication means, what technology means as far as election is concerned. We have put together a department called welfare. It's a welfare directorate that is supposed to go around and make sure we have attention for all former members, former party members, former cadres, former ministers, former appointees who have lost energy, who are bedridden. They've been part of the NDC community, they've been part of the NDC family. We need to reach out to them. We are reviving all of these to bring everybody to date. Okay? As we speak, we have a very dynamic national organizer. We have a very strong national chairman of the party. We have a very strong general secretary of the party. Our regions are very stable. The Ashanti region is going to give us one of the highest votes in the history of our democracy.
You believe so?
I believe so. I know that Ashanti region will bring John Dramani Mahama back because, like my brother said, today the Ashantis can compare that it is not about MPP. It's about who really loves you. John Dramani Mahama came from the north, developed the Ashanti region. You go to Ashanti region today, and it's a very powerful region. They have an international air, they have an airport that you can travel and land on in the night.
Yes.
The Ashanti region today has one of the biggest international markets built by John Dramani Mahama. If you look at all the roads, look at our farmers in the Ashanti region. Cocoa farmers. Their own government, and now those government could not realize that they need some incentives. But it took a northern president to give them all of this. And that is why they are going to follow John Dramani.
I keep asking about Ashanti because I know that is your Achilles heel. But let me ask the two of you this question that, look, it's not that, there is a powerful voice out there which says that, look, Dukadaya, they are all the same. it's a powerful argument. We may argue that, oh no, it's not true, but surely Ghanaians are not looking for the lesser evil. Ghanaians are looking for something solid, something better. So the question to both of you is that surely prior to 2016, the governance before 2016, maybe it was not satisfactory, maybe there were mistakes, there were wrongdoings here and there. How will you assure Ghanaians that, look, first and foremost, you've learned your lessons, and your lessons being that where you guys are coming from, your mantra, you singing of probity, accountability, transparency, call to duty, and the rest, that you guys have not forgotten, and that even though there might be mistakes again, or people will try to, steal money that doesn't belong to them, you guys are going to govern differently, properly, and not because maybe you are lesser evil than what they are facing now. What do you say? What do you say to that?
Let me first tackle the Dukadaya point, and I think that it's a very unfortunate comment to come from anybody, because when you
I'm sure you on my list.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's something that unfortunately very high people in society are also drifted along that line. I mean, to me, it's an unfortunate statement. You know why? How can you say that a government that came into office, a political party that can boast of airports, building airports, John Mahama revived the Wa airport, that today you can fly from Accra to the Upper West. John Mahama turned the Tamale airport into an international airport, that today planes fly directly from Tamale to wherever they want to go.
Sure.
John Mahama, in 4 years, built the Terminal 3. That is the second best airport in Africa. I mean, the West African sub-region.
Sure.
The man that has built an airport in Volta region. The man that has made it possible that Nanado can fly into Kumasi around 11, 12 midnight, where before John Mahama, planes could not land in Kumasi or take off at 5 o'clock. As against a government that today cannot boast of a single renovation, then you tell me that they are the same. What kind of comparison is that? I have just spoken to you about John Mahama in 4 years, 6 different hospitals. In fact, in 2020, there was the 2019, there was nursing and midwifery conference in Dodowa. The vice president's wife, Samira Baumia, was the guest of honor. She collapsed because where they were having the program had no ventilation or whatever. She got dehydrated and collapsed. You know the hospital that revived her? No. It is the Dodowa Hospital, built by John Dramani Mahama. So, but for Dodowa Hospital, probably would have been celebrating 4 or 5 years of Samira Baumia's unfortunate demise. You want to compare it to a government that 7 years cannot boast of a single one of them. A government that in 4 years put out 123 schools, secondary schools. About 70% of them have students today in the university that are going to graduate to become professionals. As against a government that in 7 years cannot boast of a single secondary school put up. And you say we are the same? Come in, let's be realistic a little. We are not the same. We can never be the same. A government that in 4 years, you say was the West, were buying fuel for 14 Ghana cedis. That is 4.5 liters. Today, 1 liter of fuel under Nanado is more expensive than the whole gallon of fuel under John Dramani Mahama. You say we are the same?
No, maybe
government
because of the war and the COVID and another war.
Give it to them. They should take it. There's COVID. There's Ukraine. So today, I'm sure we are going to buy fuel at 100 cedis per gallon because there is Israel, Palestine
war. Yeah.
Of course, so we expect it because under Nanado justifies why we should increase price. But under John Mahama, the cedi to the dollar was 3 cedis, 90 pesos to the dollar. Under Nanado, it's 11 cedis, 12 cedis. In fact, they went to 15 and has come down to 11, 12. That is the interbank rate. You want to say we are the same? How can we be the same when one administration was making you buy the dollar at 3.9 and one is giving you 11 cedis? One's administration, you say is the worst.
Can I explain to you why some people are saying they are the same?
Yes.
You see, people are saying that it's a fact that in the parliament, the People's Assembly, there's some sort of horse trading, so to speak.
That is parliament.
And the people are at the base, even your base feel, we thought this should have been done so. But then, you know the assumption and the rumors. So that makes people think that, oh, you promised that you said it, you are going to investigate, you are going to punish, you are going to find out. But people outside, Ghanaians think, oh, if you're the parliament, the same thing.
No, but Ghana is not UK. It's not a parliamentary system. Ghana is so
my question to you is,
so
how you want to assure Ghanaians? The work is on you guys to assure Ghanaians.
Mansa, the point again is that we are narrowing government to one angle.
Okay.
Government is not all about corruption.
Okay.
Sometimes when we want corruption, if we pick it one after the other, then we can now be looking into what the NDC as a government, how they handled corruption as against.
I was coming to come there specifically. Let's deal with corruption.
But of course,
people say you are the same.
How are we the same? When in one administration somebody dreams of getting 1 million, she was sacked.
Exactly.
Somebody's administration is not a dream; it's a reality. Huge sums of money in people's homes. And when the person was forced to resign by the masses, a love letter was written to that person, my dear, don't worry. At the end of the investigation, everything will be okay. Then they go ahead to frustrate the office of the special prosecutor from handling the matter. Are we the same?
So let me ask this. We Ghanaians, all of us as Ghanaians, how sure are we that we are not going to get another Asumudwe, Father for all?
Of course. I wouldn't take the seal out of His Excellency, the incoming President, John Dramani Mahama's mouth. I'm sure you make a statement out of that. But what I will say is just picking his word and answering your question. In 2022, when he was going around, he said that the MPP wants to break the 8 because they want to run from accountability. That is why they say they want to break the 8. What it means literally is that there's a lot to be investigated. There's a lot to be uncovered. There's a lot to come out, and a lot of people to be punished. And the MPP wants to run away from that. So they are not breaking the 8 because they have done well. They're not breaking the 8 because they have managed inflation. They picked it from 13%, it's today 40%. They have not done well. They are not breaking the 8 because they have built schools, because they are giving jobs. They are breaking the 8 because they think they can steal. I mean, steal in terms of the election. They think they can intimidate. They think they can rig. And so they want to run away. We are going to make sure they don't intimidate, they don't rig. The masses, the ones they vote for, will be declared, and we are confident that John Mahama will be declared the winner, even when Nanado's wife is made the electoral commissioner. And people are going to pay for their bad deeds. Where excavators have wings to fly, their landing sites will be uncovered. People who have stolen money will have to come and account. And that is why John Mahama says he will not allow them to break the 8. And so it answers your point that we are in here and we believe that we can stabilize the economy out of what they have stolen, what they are wasting. We believe that Ghana can be stable if all these holes are blocked. And that is what we are going to do. So I picked John Mahama's statement to answer your point and say that accountability is going to be one of the biggest key of the NDC.
They say the head that wears the crown, suffers the weight of the crown. So I'm going to ask you, your parliamentarians somehow previously, not long ago, defied the party whip or the party decision. They did whatever they wanted to do. How have you guys, the two of you can, how have you resolved? Is it that, let's sleep in those lie? Because surely some people did defy the party. Here in this country, people, parliamentarians, if they want to defy, they go straight. I mean, they say it in public. We are against this, we are against this, we are against that. But the moment you keep quiet and say, you are going to go with the party whip and you go and do something otherwise, that is wrong. What are you guys doing about that?
I'm sure you have heard me talk about
Mr. Gbande want to take over. Go ahead.
Because it's purely party administrative.
Sure.
I'm sure you've heard me talk about this. No one is bigger than the party.
Sure.
And no single individual, irrespective of the position you find yourself, makes you mighty and bigger than the party. That matter is still under investigation. And trust me, people will be dealt with. If there was truly any single parliamentarian who defied the orders of the party and the will of Ghanaians, that person will be punished. It is critically under review, and at the right time, people will be held responsible. But I also believe that lessons have been learned from that event. Leadership have had a lot of engagements with the leadership of Parliament.
Yes.
I mean, you can't run a party without crisis. You can't run a party without minuses and negatives. But the foresight, the object of the party, and the object of the leadership is to always bring the party on track.
Yes.
And so we've been able to mend that issue, bring the leadership of Parliament together, even in terms of...
You think peace pipe has been spoken and there's a lot of, the love is back among them because surely there was friction.
We cannot have...
Am I lying? There was friction, right?
We cannot have 100% love because it is not matrimonial.
Okay.
It's a political party.
Yes.
And that party...
No, I guess you understand the meaning of that love.
That party is run by a system.
Okay.
And the system that is running the party is saying that we are investigating the matter. The matter is under investigation. Again, leadership have taken steps to bring these people together, bring members together, so that we can drive the vehicle together. That's what Ghanaians want, and we are doing that for the people of Ghana. And so if you look at what's happening in Parliament recently, they've taken several positions, and all of them 100.
Let me ask Mr. I think my producer wants to readjust your mic or something, but Mr. Yammin, Uncle Joe of Kumasi, I saw you walking somewhere. Somebody's property that they have walled. They are you have to
break the road. I have to bring it up.
So how did you resolve that situation?
No, they can't develop that land.
So they have left
I told you, I think the last time I came, we spoke about it. I told you that whoever is going to develop that land is developing it at his own risk. Because that is a government project, and it will remain a government.
And someone have put a wall on it. He was going to take the land just like that. Recently, talking about lands, if you're ready, you can you can go ahead. Yeah. Okay. So finish your. Let him finish your point. Please go ahead.
So recently, the leadership of Parliament, together with the communication department of the party, worked out with the organizational department to stage a demonstration. A demonstration on behalf of Kenyans that the governor of Bank of Ghana should resign. That call was not from a fraction of parliamentarians. That call was from the leadership, totality of 137 members of parliament. And for us to believe.
So you want to say the party has gained its or regained its control?
We have always had control, but people will sometimes move out of control, so we bring them back to the zone. Party never goes out.
Because you see,
okay, so let me come in.
Please go ahead.
It looks like the media trying very hard to make it looks like the voting that went on was just something from the NDC side. They want to make it look like some members of the NDC defied directives of the party. Both parties in parliament are investigating members who defied the orders, because we as a political party know very sure that the MPP knew that some of their members voted against the ministers. But of course, because Ghanaians were expecting the whole 137 of the NDC voting.
Yes.
We are making it look as if it is the NDC alone that had some members defiling the orders.
Do you think this parliamentary this process? Do you think parliamentary process should be? I mean, the voting, it should be recorded. And even if not exposed, it should be recorded as Mr. Yammin voted for or against.
No, voting is a secret. I mean, is by secret ballot.
Yeah, that's wrong.
So you won't be able to determine. But the point here
they do. Here, when you go and vote, they will write, at least if they don't have to, for the purpose of maybe future reference, they know I know my MP, what he votes on, so many things, on gay issues, on this, on taxes, everything. Yeah, if I want to know, because we vote him there.
No, of course, because it's also a parliamentary system.
Yeah.
The MP will have to tell you his position before he goes out there. Yes. But in Ghana, it's not like that.
So because you are following the American system, and the American, their senator and the rest of them, they are accountable to their constituencies.
Of course, because they brief any issue that is coming.
Yes.
Your position will have to be addressed.
Yes.
You have to tell your people.
So why is it that we are doing something different? Just because we are Africans?
No, but again, when we also want to compare 200 years to 20 years.
So we are Africans. It's
not about that. But sometimes we make it look as if we should be like the Americans.
I want to look for perfection.
Of course.
Excellence.
It is.
Let's vie for excellence.
It is.
Not because we are blacks, we always do mediocrity.
Not at all. It is. But when you want me to look like the UK minister,
I want you guys, Ghana, to look better. I want us to do better.
Of course, 1992 is not the same as 2022.
So with that, it means me and you will die and go 200 years before I
have privilege of reading the American elections from day one. And I can tell you that almost 100 years of the American elections, Ghana is better.
Okay, fair enough.
Today,
Mr. Yammin.
Of course,
Mr. Yammin.
Move.
So, Mr. Yammin. You see, Mr. Yammin, I'll tell you.
At this point,
Mr. Yammin, I'll tell you this. At this point. Are you trying to tell me that the American started hopelessly, now they've got better. So after 100 years, we also get better. The wheel has been invented already. We got to use it. So their mistakes, we don't have to repeat the mistake for the next 100 years.
Nobody is saying that. But at this point, you are talking as a journalist, I'm talking as a politician.
Fair enough.
I'll not let you sit down here and let people believe that I mean, we are not on top of our issues.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. That
no, I'm not doing this because you are not on top. I'm just being me.
No. Even at this point, you are talking about the MPP and others, but I'm saying that I am a politician. There are certain things that, irrespective of which political party you belong to, you can do A, B, C, and you have a limit. So when you want to say that UK MPs will let you know they are voting before they go to Parliament, so it should be same in our part of the world, you make a mistake, because you know the cultural differences and everything comes into play. The UK Prime Minister can enter the train with you.
Yes.
And you know you greet him.
Oh yes. You can enter the train,
you know the difficulties politicians go through in our part of the world.
Yes, that's why you buy them V8, big ones.
Because when you move out there and stand by the road, the first person that meets you, hey, Asaman, let me tell you a story. My wife was at the washing bay waiting for me because I was going to hand over the keys to her. That's where I washed my car.
Yes.
So when I was coming, they thought I was coming to wash my car, and they started directing me to where I should park. Then I moved ahead and parked somewhere. They didn't know my wife was sitting by them. They started insulting me. Hey, opposition, then for they grow on to me over on a car, and my wife was there. So I got down.
Yes.
And I was walking towards my wife. Then they realized that was the woman. I saw them moving
but
left,
that mentality got to change.
It has to change.
I remember one of your MPs rode a bicycle, and his own constituency wrote a letter that
of course
he has disgraced them by riding a bicycle.
Yes, and it cost him his seat.
That mentality must change.
So when you want to use the UK system, when you want to in America 200 plus years of perfecting a system as against 20 years of perfection. To me, I think that, but for the way the MPP are handling issues and getting us backwards, we should have been at a different stage.
So is your microphone, I guess, is okay now?
I think so.
So tell us, I want you to finish your point that I'm still on how the party will sort out its differences, you know, if there's any, and actually portray to Ghanaians as a unified body ready to govern, but not the same way, because obviously there were mistakes, there were mishaps, there were certain things. And if anybody comes and says, as for the ananadu no, that's not what Ghanaians want. So tell Ghanaians what they should expect. What is it that we are better off with you guys than, let's say, but we are continuing?
There is a consensus that everyone in the NDC understands that we have crisis at hand. The crisis has to do with our nation, our country called Ghana, and that the only solution is that we must win power. So everyone is working towards that cause. For me, that is most profound. We cannot have ourselves being siblings in a party. We remain as actors and stakeholders. But at this point, the NDC is a united party as compared to a party where the perceived potential replacement of leadership has resigned because the president does not like him, because the system does not like Ashantis to take over, and so they must get a junior person to be a candidate. Today, as we speak, if you listen to the kind of things Canada Japan is talking about in Ghana, do you want to hand over your country to those group of people?
Some people like him so much.
Do you want to hand over your country to that group, MPP, today, as it is?
Well, some people still like him.
Do you say that as the MPP is today, you can compare that party to the NDC?
Well,
the NDC is a very formidable party today.
Yes.
The NDC is united for 2024.
Okay.
We've had people contesting with our flag bearer today. We have finished elections about 4 months ago.
The question that comes to mind always is that I don't know whether they are really neutrals or they are pretending they are disgruntled MPP and they are pretending to be. But they said, oh, like if people didn't bring Mahama, then they would have been very, okay to vote.
That is why they don't decide.
Why Mahama? Tell us.
They don't decide what Ghana wants.
Why Mahama? You tell me. Maybe I don't.
But before Mustapha continues,
go ahead.
Those that are making such statements,
yes.
One, are tribalistic. Two, they are MPP.
Okay. And so
the third one is jealousy.
Because they don't have somebody of that stature.
You see, when you say that Kamudi will be fulfilled by you in person, you think that the MPP have not performed. If the MPP hasn't performed, it is because you are comparing the MPP's performance to the NDC performance. And who led that performance that you are comparing the MPP to and think that they have not performed?
Sure.
It's John Dramani Mahama. So when you say that if you bring a different person, on what grounds are you proposing this? Because the man has the constitutional right,
yes,
to come back and rule this country and continue what he started.
Yes.
The people of the NDC sees him as the best person to recapture power for Ghana and country. If it is not for jealousy, you won't come and say that if you had brought in a different person. So you think that for John Mahama, it is better for people to still continue to destroy our country than for John Mahama to be president. Two, I call it tribalistic, because some people say that, we won't sit down. They are lesser or minor.
Fair enough,
I don't want to go deep.
Yeah, some accounts look down upon enoughness.
Some people
let's be very straightforward. Yes,
that Ghana is not ready for a northern lead. Unfortunately, those same people think that Bawumia should lead the MPP.
I see.
So if you are a northerner and you are in the MPP, you are a Ghanaian. If you are a northerner and you are in the NDC, it is not better for you to rule. I don't get it.
You don't get it.
Yes. So Ghanaians are looking for a leader.
Let's punch it quickly. Your makeup now, Mahama will come 4 years. I'm sure you guys are not going to. Sorry about that. I'm sure you guys are not going to try to change the constitution or anything. However good he is going to be, he will finish 4 years and go. What do you make of
Why do you think we will change the constitution?
That's what I say. I'm sure you wouldn't do that. That's what I said.
Is there anything wrong with that?
To change it so that you'll be. That will be tantamount to the French people who are now French West Africans who are now very much against their leaders because they keep changing constitution for them to remain. But as for constitution need to be amended somehow. Okay. But I get it. That's not what I meant. But let me ask you this: that do you think we need a fresher, younger version of whichever woman you have to be the running mate? Prepared for next time.
I hope you are not proposing your constituency.
No, I have my.
Because you are from Abura Sebu, and I know Professor Nanawa is coming from that.
And this man,
I'm very sure.
I told Felix that he has disrupted everything, but how can I?
I easily can read your mind.
You see,
when you brought in the question that a younger or whatever. Yes, Professor Nanawa has what it takes to be there. But the point is that it is left for John Mahama to decide.
Yeah.
The NDC is not interested in who takes over from John Mahama today.
No, we Ghanaians are.
No. So we are interested in winning election 2024 because we know anything beyond election 2024 means that we are selling our country, Ghana. We need to save the country.
Yes.
And the one the people are calling for is John Mahama. So whoever partners John Mahama to win 2024 election is what we are going to go for. We know that the performance of John Mahama and whoever he will go with will aid any NDC person, whether it's Mustapha, whether it is me, whether it is Sidin Ketia, whether it is Professor Nanama you are proposing.
Yes.
Will win the election easily.
I have some tough ladies. I want somebody like Soya,
Valerie Soya.
Valerie Soya.
Yeah.
Yes, a tough woman. I want the gender balance. You see, the boys thing is too much.
Let me tell you,
you need some women to come into the fore.
We need women, we need men, we need a vice president.
We need more women.
We need women, we need men. The most important thing is that it is a reserved prerogative of the president.
No. I'm not arguing that. We are suggesting. I'm suggesting that. Do you think
we will get to that conversation?
Yes.
If God speak to the flag bearer.
Yes.
Who will be the president?
Yes.
Who Ghanaians will vote?
Yes.
Who Ghanaians will hold accountable?
Yes.
If the president decides today that Mansa Musa should be my running mate, so be it. The party,
even if he's got it wrong.
If the president gets it wrong, then everybody gets it wrong.
Yes, but we don't have to just say because he's president.
Voting for a vice president.
So on what criteria will one judge whether he's wrong or he's right?
The president can get it wrong. The president can decide on someone who Ghanaians wouldn't like so much.
So who is the one Ghanaians like?
There's some very tough ladies.
They are tough ladies.
There's some very tough ladies.
Gumashi and all
in this your UK chapter.
Yes.
One of them.
You know the reason why I told you privately that I won't vote for Labour? Because there are some top women who could have been the leader. These straight jackets, straight jawed, Keir Starmer. I don't see
that is wrong.
I want a woman to be there.
You are not in the position to take over the mind of the president.
Fair enough.
You are in the position to express an opinion.
Yes.
And you must as well accept that your opinion is subject to the pleasure of the person who is given the power to make the choice.
Don't you believe maybe I can be right and president? I still call him Mr. President. That Mr. President is wrong. Don't you think for what we are discussing that he can get it wrong and I'm right?
The president will never be wrong.
You sure?
The president,
yeah, because the president, the processes in selecting who a running mate is, it's not that he comes in and just announces.
No.
He goes through some consultation, which I know is going through.
Yeah.
After that, he presents some names to the Council of Elders, the executives,
and they
go through and make a choice.
Listen.
So
I know.
three.
I'm being simplistic here.
Yeah.
I know the processes, so don't take me too
anybody
serious.
who got it wrong, it's
Akufo-Addo.
Akufo-Addo.
Right.
So far.
Okay, so you want us to get back to Akufo-Addo.
He has manifested that
the recent floods at what we call Kusumbo.
Yeah.
For me, I want to place the blame on engineers, those who are actually managing the site.
Would we want to play a blame game?
1 second. No, I'm putting the blame on them.
How?
If the political masters are even not taking them to task, I will take them to task, because before, this is not accident. They are called spillage. It's not spillage. It is a proper planned, we call it planned maintenance. The water behind that level is too much. It may undermine the structure of the dam, blah, 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 all those technical things, right? Now, you got to release some water. You should know that when you open the floodgates and about 1 billion gallons of water per hour is flowing, surely it's going to cause some havoc.
That is not a blame then.
That
is an assessment of the situation.
Oh yes, we do.
So
they should even do what we call risk assessment more than I do.
When you call it a blame,
yes,
you belittle the argument.
Yes,
the argument is that one ought to have taken certain precautionary measures.
Yes, I'm blaming them for not taking the precautionary measure.
Certain discretion, and that has not been done.
Exactly, that's what I'm blaming them.
Ought to have given some information.
Yes.
He didn't give that information.
No.
And so government is responsible.
Well, that's why I'm saying, even if the political masters are not taking
so
them
we
to
are not going to talk about
so you want to take the political masters?
We are going to talk about what government
should have done,
have brought upon the people.
Okay, fair enough.
So we are going to talk about millions of people who have been displaced, who have lost their homes. We haven't recorded.
So it means the government has placed wrong, people in position that are not good enough for
president on top of this. Speaking anyhow.
How did he go to speak again? I hear he said something.
Well, you've taken Nana too serious. I've never taken him serious.
Okay, go ahead.
I've never taken him serious because I'm not surprised about what he's doing. He's telling the people of Volta region, who are taxpayers, this is a president who undertook a covert operation to say that they are secessionists, revolutionaries in Volta region, deploy the military on them, block their border. They didn't say anything. They pay tax because they vote for the NDC. Look, Akufo-Addo have inbuilt deep hatred for Northerners and Ewe people. I know that. His personality has a deep-seated hatred for Northerners and Ewes. And so, in the midst of their agony, in this crisis, the people have been displaced. Their children cannot go to school. They've lost their properties. Look, back home, if your father is able to build one house, it's a big achievement. They've lost all of this overnight. The president is saying, I'm not here because if I were here, and I want to look at how much votes you give me, I wouldn't be here.
So you want to just impress upon them that he came because of his love for them. But let me ask you something about your president.
Take that to be president?
Let me ask you something about your man. People say he's that soft, that mild, that almost the word docile. I don't know why people want to use that word, but you guys know him close hand or close quarters. How effective is he going to be when we have to deal with not about this disaster and the rest, but when he has to look in the eyes look in the eyes of somebody who follow him and say, hey my friend, what you've done, you are going to prison. Can he do that?
No, of course.
Then you don't know, John.
Of course, that's what I wanted to tell you.
That's why Yammin spoke about the people who says, and would you be different?
The reason why, I know where I'm coming from. In my day, when you do something, hey, this wife old man should hear you finish. Either old man or Kujo, that's the name we call them. Old man hear this, you finish. Kujo hear this, you finish. You see, that is the mentality, that is the respect and the fear. I'm asking you, tell me, via here through Ghanaians, is Muhammad that man that can look at Nidoba? Talking about Doba, you are growing up to know that Jerry signed for someone who was related to him to be shot because he also. But that's excesses. I mean, it's those days. But is Muhammad the type who can look into the eyes of one NDC man who follow him and say, hey, what you have done, if it's proven, I'm not going to,
see, Mansa,
you are going to jail. Can Muhammad do that? Tell us.
People are looking at President Muhammad's physical appearance, how gentle.
But he's soft and gentle. That's the word. Too gentle.
He's not soft.
So if you are fortunate to have studied leadership, then you appreciate that we are not the same. I mean, leadership has several characteristics. His style of
it's not going to clear. It's not a clearing agent.
His style.
He's not going to go clearing agent extraordinary.
Of course.
Muhammad
cannot be that of a Akufo-Addo.
Clearing agent.
His style is different. Jifar, the late Jifar
Ativo,
very close.
Unfortunately, yeah.
You know what?
May God
warranted her
dismissal.
Just because of a bias branding.
Yes.
10 million cedis.
10 million cedis. Muhammad got her sacked.
My question is not answered. Is Muhammad the type to look into somebody's eyes and do the do?
I'm giving you.
Because Ghanaians are looking for somebody like that.
So you think that John Muhammad closed the eyes and sacked Jifar Ativo?
Okay.
In fact, Atibuwa was called and said he should resign because Ghanaians were not pleased with 10 million bars branding. Not that alone, the monies were retrieved. They were made to bring it back.
Something like that would be very big song in the ears of many people.
Of course,
because the assurance is what Ghanaians are looking for.
But Ghanaians are happy with what Akufo-Addo is doing?
Look, we are not talking about Akufo-Addo here.
I'm just asking.
You see, people are asking, where is the alternative? This is the alternative we are talking about. I'm asking. This man, I still, look, when he came, was it 2018, thereabout, the first time, I went to, I still call him Mr. President. Look, that is okay. I'm not sitting in my personal capacity. I'm asking the question for Ghanaians. Is he the type?
And I've just given you.
Nobody wants to accept that. Look, we don't want to accept this again. We Ghanaians. That Asmudri.
The kind of the way you are stressing your question is rather going to give some different interpretation to your followers.
You sure?
We are telling you, and at least we have given you two examples.
Right.
That somebody's dream alone. You know how close Victoria Hammer was.
So
to
he's
John
that person.
So when Ghanaians say that John Mahama, can you look at somebody and deal with that person?
Yes.
I mean, just the mere mention that something went wrong at the World Cup got myself and my minister reshuffled from the sports ministry. What again do you want to see?
Okay, so
Nana Akufo-Addo's administration, visa racketeering, and still had the minister staying for 4 years.
These are the reminders. These are the reminders we want to see.
So my point is that look, Ghanaians. I mean, look at John Dramani Mahama from the perspective of a gentle person. But he is the toughest person that anybody can deal with. John Dramani Mahama is somebody that is the toughest person you can deal with. He's a man that you cannot go in there and just do whatever you want to do and go. His public appearance is so good that people sometimes take his leniency to be his weakness. But he has no weakness, as far as some of us are concerned. Just that he won't show the kind of attitude that others shows. That John Dramani Mahama may not like you. In public, when you come, he will greet you and embrace you, just to let the people know that, look, I mean, everything is okay. But he's not happy with what you have done.
Perhaps
the public we shouldn't.
Perhaps the perception is coming from the fact that, look, recently, Mr. What's his name? Kene Japan even came out to say, that's the perception. People think, Muhammad is soft. Because he insulted him, he doesn't mind you.
That is different from administration.
Okay.
What Kennedy spoke about is criticism. It's personal attacks or insult. That is different from the man ruling the country and you are not performing. You have gone beyond your mandate.
The reason why I'm saying this, when I told somebody, I was arguing private conversation with somebody and said, but this guy said boot for boot. The guy is action man. That's the guy who told me.
It's because he has compassion.
So another word. Listen, we are almost coming to the end, but before I forget, we had problems with, I don't know, Facebook is giving us problems. Maybe it's been hacked. Can you imagine? It just doesn't go through. Maybe it's been hacked. We'll get them. But apart from that, I want to ask you.
Go for first.
No, I don't think you can hack it. You have to sabotage yourself.
Because we are here. No, some people.
My question to you is, how do you find our humble abode? Is it a place for the chief himself to pay a visit one day when he comes here? Will you recommend?
Of course.
So
I know he fully. So he's a media person. Though John Mahama is a member.
No, I want you to talk.
John Mahama.
I want you to big my hair up. That's what I'm saying. Is it a nice place?
That's what I'm just building it up to that point.
All right.
He's a member of the GJA. You see, he votes in the GJA elections. He's a media person, he's a communication expert. John Mahama follows your program.
Oh, I see.
The program is widely followed in Ghana. I know that he will be very happy.
When you see him one day, tell him Mansa Musa is waiting for him.
Of course.
And you to tell your boss, he is running away from me. But my good friends, he makes it for everybody anyway. Sitting Ketia.
Yeah.
Hey, it's time, Mansa Musa, anytime you call me. And that is good to know. But no, put jokes aside. I know your bosses, they are all very
But
busy.
let me tell you.
Before you tell me, okay, I will let you speak. But when you finish, what I want to do is, do you speak any Northern language? Hausa?
No.
You don't speak? Okay.
He speaks Hausa.
Hausa?
Yeah.
You speak Hausa? And Eve?
Yeah, he speaks Hausa, he speaks Ewe.
No.
He speaks Chi.
Yeah. Okay, so
He's,
I want you,
multilingual.
when you talk what you want to talk, to end, I want you to give your final summary. I mean, sum it up in the language you can speak from the north, either Hausa or whatever, and speak in Ewe. Then you to sum it up in English and Ashanti. Then we can finish.
You know what I was about to sum it up with is that we should not bother ourselves looking at the composure. Composure is an assemblage of discipline. Discipline to the extent that you hide your weaknesses and highlight your strength. President Mahama is one who demonstrates compassion, even towards the people who dislike him. So that person is a leader who is placed with superior mindset, superior understanding of what humanity is. That leader is what a developing country like Ghana wants. That country where people insult you, but the next day they are in a problem. That is the kind of leader. Look, the current interior minister in Ghana was almost dying in the north. Whilst they were in opposition, President Mahama ordered the military
What's his
to
name?
release
Ambrose. Derry.
Yes,
Ambrose Derry. Okay.
ordered an helicopter to go pick him from the north to Kolebu Teaching Hospital. The president left his office to that hospital to ensure that he saved his life. Today, Donaldo has an interior minister. That is the man he is. He's not soft. As far as I'm concerned, don't play with the river that flows with the quiet and the silence.
It's the undercurrent.
Yes.
Dangerous.
Now, this place that I've come to see, and I've come to UK for the first time by privilege of my position, and then my brothers in the chapter and all of that. Look, Ghanaians in UK are doing wonderfully well, and you are one of them. The quality of things you do is what attracts people to yourself, and I think that you have done so well. Ghanaians are listening to you. Would be happy to have you people come back home to establish for us to restore Ghana to its better position. Look, there are doctors here.
This goes to all Ghanaians.
There are nurses here.
And I know there are highly trained professionals.
Yes. We need a government that believes that your skill set is important than which party you belong to.
Exactly.
And that is President Mahama for you.
Yes.
You need a government who believes that irrespective of where you come from, once you can do it, once you demonstrate you can do, you should be given an opportunity to develop. We need that president.
One thing I forgot and I need to remind you is that your book, your green book, you call it?
Yes.
That big push thing, it comprises so many things, but it's like still Ghanaians. So some people are asking you, what is alternative? Why are people asking alternative when those things are there?
No. They want us to go and speak about our policies now so that they copy to redeem themselves. They are empty of ideas as we speak. So they want to see what the NDC has.
When they have so many slogans,
they have nothing. Nothing is working.
Okay.
One visit, one factory was a scam.
It's slogans.
One village, one dam was a scam. Agenda 111 was a scam. I will use their NAS principle.
One good thing, I can mention one good thing, at least he ordered many ambulances. That's good.
For who?
For hospitals.
And they've left ambulances to rot and taking people to
No, but that is not a government policy. Or to be fair to them,
Which one?
I mean, they brought the ambulances. So if they are not looking after them,
if the
ministry is not looking after them,
we'll be having now, if they had utilized what the NDC brought.
Oh yes, the Onyado, is it?
No, Onyado is different. That one has rotten in the bush.
Yes, I know that.
It's there.
I just googled
They
today.
joined the NDC.
Yes.
And today Atuforcing is in court over these things.
Yes.
Brought in ambulances.
Yes.
The ambulances had two sections.
Yes.
The vehicle itself.
And the assembly.
Apparently,
the
it wasn't
assembly.
good ambulances.
No,
That's the mistake. As we speak now, the contractors of these
Accessories.
ambulances, the accessories that will be fitted into the ambulance to make it ambulance is still at Temahabo.
Oh, I see.
That the government is not releasing for 7 years.
Why is nobody?
That is the point. That is the point, and that is why they have taken people to court just to divert their attention. So if they came in and allowed the guy to pick these accessories, fit them into the cars that are rotting away, and had also brought in their 1111 to add, each district will be having 2 ambulances.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, they had the presence of mind to bring ambulances at least.
From where?
So that is what we can say. Oh, we brought.
Let me
ambulances.
tell you, I've checked the 5 most causative factors of death in Ghana today.
Yes.
Ambulance is not one of them.
Which is it?
What is causing
why
death?
people not getting to hospital in the right
When they get to
time?
the hospital and they don't have
The
doctors and
best.
nurses because the nurses are leaving
The ambulances
to abroad.
save them.
When they come because they don't even have common bed to slide on. Whilst in hospitals.
But don't get it wrong. We need ambulance. Don't
I'm
No,
just
we've not
saying
said that.
The
We are
five-
saying that.
the 5 top causes of death in Ghana does not include
when you come to
emergency
power,
services.
when you come to power, will you bring in more ambulances?
we will not
We
bring in
already
more
brought in
ambulances
some before the
when
MPP came.
people are dying. We will bring hospital beds,
And
train more
ambulance-
doctors,
and ambulances.
expand medical infrastructure.
And
I'm saying
ambulance
that-
and roads.
I'm saying that they are already ambulances. And,
No, it's not enough.
And the top priority.
No. I will tell you straight away. You said we should come and help. I'm telling you.
Yes.
You should have in a community.
Yes.
Let's say 100. I think here is 100 or so to one ambulance. 100.
I'm saying that I've worked at
You understand?
I've worked
So,
at
answer
which one will
So
you
you
propose?
don't even.
Which one
we
will
don't
you-
even have an ambulance for 1,000.
Which one?
So we have to reduce
So,
it.
Mansa, which one will you prefer? That we have the hospital in good shape.
Yes, that one is a must. We
First.
should have it. Yeah.
And bring in ambulances to top up, or we should go for ambulances whilst the hospitals are in the
Anyway,
state
that
they
priority was wrong, but it doesn't mean we don't need an.
No,
I understand what you mean.
I'm saying that it is not the MPP.
So you
government
get
that
your priority right.
No, I'm coming. It's not the MPP that came to office to introduce ambulances.
I didn't say
By the
that.
time the NDC came into
Yeah.
power, the ambulance section had no ambulances. Some were imported. Went ahead to import more, and those ones are the ones left to rot. Nanado comes in and adds some.
Yes.
Of course, government is continuity.
Well, you
that
guys-
means
very
that
good.
that means that this will not be the last
Fair
time
enough.
ambulances will be
Will
brought
you
in.
guys make look for anyone on this planet, anyone to argue that free education is bad? That fellow is somewhere here. My question is, will you guys come and make the free SHS or free education better?
We are going to review it.
Will you come and make it
we-
better?
Of course. I am a parent that have my daughter the free secondary school.
Yeah.
If you tell me reviewing of the free secondary school is a bad thing, then you are
No,
not.
it's also not a bad. Anyone
No, but-
who also argue like that is also
No,
very,
but the
very
MPP
silly.
says that
review
means cancellation.
Means you want to make it better.
So we are going to make it better, and making it better. This is what we have proposed.
Okay.
That number one, give back the feeding contract
Yes.
to the head of the schools.
Okay.
It used to be. Today, government has taken it and given it to the buffer stock. So schools can go on vacation at any time just because there's no food. Students are going hungry just because buffer stock have not supplied food.
Yes.
We think that it is a negative to the free secondary school. Secondly, because of the free secondary school, the schools are overwhelmed.
Yes.
Students are lying in even toilets, converting them into
dormitories and things are a problem. Yeah.
The private secondary schools have collapsed under the free secondary school policy.
Why?
And the
Why
private because the government is not assigning students to the private schools. Meanwhile, the private schools can contain almost about 30% of the student population.
But it's up to the private institutions to compete.
No, the government's position is that it is only the public schools.
Yes.
And the private schools have come. And when the government wanted to introduce the double track, they came in to say that, look, there's no sense in doing the double track because we have the facilities to cater for the excesses.
Okay.
But Nana Danko Akufo-Addo and his people, for whatever reasons, decided to leave the private schools. And today, private school business have collapsed because no student goes in there. Government of the NDC says that we are going to give the private schools a role to play in the free secondary school policy, so that the schools will not be overwhelmed.
Yes.
So that we will have the exact numbers of students to be admitted in that schools. By so doing, the private sector will come back to work.
Yes.
Teachers that they have laid off because of free secondary school are going to be re-employed. Then the students will have a serene and good environment.
How about your community school system? Because honestly, this country is free secondary school, but nobody pays for your boarding house. No, children here don't go to boarding house. The secondary school is free. You go home, you go and come home. So are you going to revamp, encourage, or wean off this boarding system by building more communities so that
the John Mahama administration started with 200. We started with 120 out of 200. I know in our 2020 manifesto a continuation of completion of that promise is something that John Mahama will fulfill. So when you have a number of them, then it means that you have proximity-wise access to secondary schools within the communities. Then we'll go further to want to again look at how government can share. And when the NDC was in power, we started the free secondary school policy by giving free education to first year students.
Yes.
Moved into a second year. In the second year, when we realized we had what it takes, 100,000 of boarding students had some of their
so obviously your sister, your program will make the education system better
than
if I get Mr. Apak, I would like to question him, because you see where you held your elections here in this country there, you see it's a secondary school. There's a signboard there, 6th form. For me, I think in fact 2009 when NDC came to power. In fact, I interviewed Segbefia some time ago, about 2-3 years ago. I told him the one big mistake about education was to bring the duration of education from 4 years to 3 years, because to me the 4 years people are not studying hard enough. It's not enough. They bring it 3 years, it was useless. That one we have to accept it. But what I want to ask you is
we can't accept it just because to you it's not good.
So you think?
I mean, there was a committee. There was a committee
should come back.
It's the same thing that we are practicing, because junior secondary school.
Yes.
If you are going to the normal system of 1 to 5 upper system, you start from the age of 15.
Yes.
I mean the age of 12.
12.
13,
That
go to secondary school.
Yeah.
The age of 12. 13, you are at the junior secondary school.
So what you are telling me
is the
I don't know.
the system.
What we have is equivalent. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because Form 1 to Form 3, then from Form 3, so the secondary school probably is just because of one cut from the sixth form system. Because you do 5 years and 2 years upper and lower, lower and upper, and this one you do 3 years here, you do 3 years there. So it's just a matter of 1 year difference.
Okay, that's a big difference, isn't it?
Of course, it is. But that is the system that we run. Of course, when you go to, when you go
fair enough, it's a system and it's not benefiting the kids. Why do you still maintain it?
That is why I'm saying that we are always bringing in some countries that
I'm not bringing any country. I'm coming. I'm just questioning your system.
Yeah, of course, but it is because you believe that the system you are running here is better. When you go to United States of America, they train their daughters within 5 years, 6 years. Ghana is training 7 to 8 years.
Yes.
Does that mean that they are better? We are better.
No,
than
but
them?
the real training we are talking about 5 years. They enter on the field. They take lots of courses. Lots of training. That one we can't go.
No. But the point is that
as for medicine, I would have wished that my doctor even trained for 10 years. Believe me.
Of course, medicine. My point is that countries cannot have the same number of year system.
You sure?
The fact that UK is doing
which 7 years means that Ghana should have. Which one?
I am a product of the secondary school. I don't think
it's better.
No. I don't think that those that going through the upper system are better than me.
You didn't go through the upper system.
No, I'm a product of the secondary school.
Okay.
I don't think they are
JSS
better than me.
And,
My friends who are doctors today have come to pass people who went through the upper system and today are consultants in the field of medicine. Does that mean that they are better than them? The point is that it's an educational system.
Sure.
That is what Ghana, and don't forget that professors came together.
No, it doesn't matter.
Do all these
for them, look, I'm telling you some of these things. Professors meet and listen, but the politics of things sometimes overtake the proper operational
politicking here. Simply because some countries running upper system.
I will agree with you. I will agree to disagree.
So you started from saying that the mistake was that we brought it 4 years, 3 years.
Yes.
The Anamwa committee that looked into it, and it was set by President Kufuor.
Yes.
Recommended 3 years.
Okay, well, it doesn't make
that
it
is
right.
The committee, 3 years. And that if we will do 4 years, we should do an expansion in infrastructure.
Exactly.
And we didn't have it. So we
still don't have it. We spent billions.
So Mansa, you wanted us to go into the system and still face the situation where students, the fourth-year students, didn't have classrooms to enter. Okay. Was that the best thing? We thought that President Kufuor and his people only wanted to change a system simply because that system was put in place by the NDC administration.
Okay.
And so we came back and went
we are
back
looking
to
for a system that should work.
Report.
I feel we are being shortchanged.
Apart from the
system we have now, that's what I feel. Maybe I'm wrong.
The introduction of the free secondary school that is being mismanaged by Danado Danko Akufo-Addo.
No, as for this one,
I won't agree with anybody to say that the junior secondary school and senior secondary school system is a bad system. I'm a product of it.
How many people are, a lot of people are, this question should go to Clement Park. I want him to come and answer some of these questions. It's not fair, because some of these are very, very technical, and I think as far as education is concerned, we've got to get it right. We've got to get it right. For now,
that's why we are
playing too much politics with it. I don't mean you, but in general.
No, that's why we and the NDC thinks that the handling of
tell us something in Northern language and Evan.
I would have wished to speak in Gbande or Ewe.
Yeah.
I've been here since morning. Usually when I eat.
No, I'm serious. No. Listen to me. I'm serious. Look, it's always good to have command of languages. I'm asking you politely that speak, sum up in Adamani and
English.
We have spoken a lot of English here, and I want some. I want some. Ghana 40 Krum Kasaka. I need him. With all due respect, what in ever? No. Yammin be candidate.
Yammin no fit Kumasi.
To no be candidate Kumasi. Nti wo me pese oka either Igbe say Igbe ever or any northern language.
I don't speak.
You don't speak Ewe?
No, I don't speak Ewe.
Oh, sorry. Okay, then no. Then don't get me. I thought you spoke Ewe. Okay, then speak the Bani or anything you want.
So I'll just speak Tree.
And the Bani, yeah.
I'll just speak Tree.
Why don't you want to speak the Bani?
I'm not a Dagomba.
What language do you speak apart from Tree?
I'm a Basari.
Please, go ahead. No, I'm serious. Look, I'm African. You are talking to Pan-African. I don't have to come and say, look, I don't have to come and sit here and be speaking.
What do you want me to say?
Sum the program up today. You can finish and say it in English, but I want you to speak in Basari.
So, Nabiam, Trajam, Donesa NFTV.
NFM TV. Yeah. It is New Face Media.
New Face
Media Television, yeah.
Mansa Musa. This one, the answer politics. And Ghana, what I just said was that
brilliant. If you know how that sounded,
our people should continue to watch NFM TV.
Yeah,
it's a platform that discusses politics and other issues for development.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And how do you find my simple abode?
For me, I have a different orientation. My orientation is that you can even produce a very powerful TV series from the kitchen.
Okay.
It's about the issues being discussed.
All right. Okay.
What we are talking about now, for me.
No, but I'm talking specifically the beauty of it. I mean, that's all. I mean, how do you feel?
I know you like good things, so you wouldn't sit in a deplorable environment. Okay. This is a very classic place.
Exactly. That's all.
When I entered here, the first thing I mentioned, I mean, I think you were listening, is that you have your picture quality is very high, and our listeners.
Oh, I think you mentioned some picture quality.
Can speak for it, and I can see the setup. It's not everything that I can say, but
no. One thing messed up today. That's in Facebook. I think we've been hacked.
It's a place to be. It's a place for people to watch.
Will you? I mean, how do I say it? Will you tell your? Recommend to your big boss.
I don't need to recommend. He is seeing what it is.
Okay.
This is a platform that discusses issues intellectually, non-partisan.
No. As for if you come and face me, Mansa Musa, I mean, we can joke. Look, I can do talk show for jokes as well. But when we are talking national issues like this, we've got to be serious.
So for me,
about
you bring ideas together, and the people of UK, I'm told, the Ghanaian community, do not like the partisan discussions that we do. They are interested in bread and butter issues.
Exactly.
They are interested in knowing what is happening back home while they are here. Because at the end of the day, when they retire, they have to go back to Ghana. They want to know how Ghana is processed. And
what is happening there is affecting us.
Your platform discusses such issues. And I believe that it's a very good place for anybody from Ghana to want to come and share their experience of what Ghana is. And I say that I'm very proud of the Ghanaian community here. You are working fantastically, very hard. I've had the opportunity to meet people from various fields, and they're doing very well, very brilliant people. We would want to see people of your caliber come back home after the platform is being given to build a better Ghana.
Brilliant. I'm also very impressed with you, about you personally, because, I've always said that, look, in my day, you hear somebody secretary, assistant, deputy, they are all grown up with beard and everything. Your age and the wisdom, the quality of your mind and everything. I'm also impressed about that. And thank you very much. Mr. Yes, sir. Barras boy. One day I saw him on the Facebook driving in some bush. Hey, contemporary, and then moment TV them for he wasn't still on trade. Ghana, we are blessed. The food was just there. I mean, contemporary somewhere, and I think you were going to look for one proposed factory, which never existed.
It's still there.
Hey, man, no,
after make that video, and no mobile fancy factory, no security man. That is 2019.
Before for Ashantis, for the benefit of them, but hospitals Nibium.
Afari, a military bed, a military hospital, 37 annex.
Annex, yeah.
And yet, hospital in Kwan, you barracks.
Yes.
Attached.
Yes.
It's a whole battalion.
Yes. Proper,
a 500 bed.
Okay.
So, Nipa 500.
A massive. Yeah.
It bet me add me to
at a go, yeah.
And this 500 is just the OPD. Maternity in Kahu.
And accident
emergency.
Yes.
Then there is Sevilla, 250 bed hospital.
Yes.
There is Tepa.
Yes.
Yewie and San Yefros. Ronaldo left it to rot till 2020 when he had no project to show on the commission project. Tepa is 60 bed hospital. Konongo a 60 bed hospital. Fomena a 120 bed hospital. Kumau 120 bed hospital. 6 hospitals.
That question goes then.
Do you know in all of these constituencies he mentioned, they are all MPP MPs?
Of course, this was why? What is going on?
You see, so now Ghana for, and at this point, when he said a lot of people are listening to us. Mansa Debia made my Sunday school time, and a case study for what happened in 2016. Na Ghana for bebre, and I think that Nyame sheda na ma Akufo-Addo bedi yeso. Enti sanka Ghana for bebre beka se sanka Akufo-Addo na wo ho Akufo-Addo na
so wamba
because the way na okasa the way o portray no ho Ghana for
he talked a good talk. He was able to convince my former boss Rollins. I mean, someone to convince Rollins, hey, me ba, I'm going to uproot corruption. Rollins for him, he loved those things. Who to corruption?
So Ghana for in 2016, MPP4 studied the Ghanaian very well. To more adapted the Sunday school teachers at the firm just to strengthen us in Christianity.
Sure.
Your time when you call Sunday school, Sunday school teacher, or say, Adriana Ben Ape. Maybe say Fufu near Bankwan, we say Ampesi more, we say, we are Obia Bonnie dear for fair, was a heaven when I air con a command. Accommodate was Fufu near Bankwan, and at that moment, we love to go to heaven. And at that point, one we are, and then your friend extremism. No?
Exactly.
Because it is only through death that you can go to heaven.
Yeah.
The MPP studied the Ghanaians so well and started to play with the mindset
that mentality,
of me read TV so say I remember it's Adum TV. Now many John Boadu, who was then the national organizer of the MPP. And that was a day after Bawumia had given the promise of $1 million per
constituency. Yeah.
The programs were discussing it, and I'm saying it's not possible. It can't be possible. You know why? $1 million. It means that we're talking about $275 million. Ghana, it was a CR. Yeah, for 40 million.
For 8 years, no?
$40 million near the World Bank near You think that we have 275 million sitting down every year? Because your board will say, no. I mean, you are wrong. In the budget, there's something we call contingency. So he was now telling me what contingency is.
Exactly.
And it's there. It's just a corrupt government like you, an incompetent government like you. And who say Saska way the whole and so the buyer Saska will take it 1 million, and Ghanaians believed.
Yes.
People with PhD, professors,
gullible, very gullible,
believed that you can have 275 million
a year
sitting down.
Apart from everything else you will do, no, that one you give it
to power. And today they are not talking about it because in one village, one dam. Again, it was discussed, and I'm saying, how is that possible? Before you can construct a dam, there should be a source of water.
Exactly.
And in the northern part of the country, you can so when somebody comes and tells Wogan and Nina say, "Meba a village bia mama a dam," then you believe it. It's like the Sunday school teacher telling you, say, "Okay, say one district, one factory." Say meba Messi factory.
Every district.
How are you going to do it? Even if you are going to do with the private sector, you will have to get source of funding.
Exactly.
And factory na you have not given us a quantum. What mean country say factory should not go beyond $5 million. So maybe the factory let's say $1 billion. It's a people going to give me funding for that.
Exactly.
But Ghanaians bought into it. I know that the baby
I will let you finish your point, but it's sad. Say, I remember very well 2016 before election. One Padibia gentleman, one MPP ni Ogumeni Masipoto. Every telephone call me say, "Hey, Peter, I say Peter. Now all the tax it's about roughly about 30 to 40% of tax revenue. And I must say, why are you going to get the funds to come and run the country? As someone catch him more calculate till radio so now question way the people like us, you and all, some few people knew, even Steven Suka of BBC, they were all asking these questions. Where is the money coming from? Where is the money coming from? But because you guys said some wind of change, the bill was blowing that time. Kufadu spoke he was talking very good, and so people believed it. So whatever you'd said, people didn't want to know. No. Like Mr. Martin Pegbe and Oka said that time, our mind is that we wanted to change the NDC, so we wanted to forgive you anything you do. Now they've all seen that. Look, we've all been hard. Still, person say the country, send for Ghana for expecting what you guys can do better. And they are Ghana for because they say Canada, they are Ghana for after 2-3 years.
Mansa fa Asimbia Mishia businessman be ansana yeba UK abontin so e ka kire me emfanyi wasem nano Mishia businessman Ghana sikafo no baako I say Yammin, and I'm say yes Remoa Munyira Muhuna Mumfa John Mahama Sam family. No fire ko ahochire na na ewo 2016 because a year change.
You see you.
Of course. MPP for back by mu and no mo kai say in the Bible you Matthew 24 I kase e brani be ko awie ya bre mu adin be den e only MPP time and as Bible quotation, very relevant. You can also react baby. Okay, see Russia and Ukraine war. Russia and Ukraine war. So in your first time, under John Mahama, there's Russia Ukraine in 2014.
Yeah,
they see the
no
inflation no. Amount for under John Mahama, there was one of the biggest pandemic, that is Ebola.
Yeah.
Even though Andrew Ghana, but measures were put in place, including isolation centers and other stuff,
everything,
just to make sure you're ready for Adieno. Then Ghana and at that point, when people were saying new mama but when we are saying Timitra, Togo, Burkina, Ghana, but Nadia, yet minya kukudru ni see a book Ukraine and Russia. Ukraine and Russia war. I'm a Russia economy. I very strong. Russia the economy I very strong. You see the robots. It was one of the weakest.
No, as for geopolitics, but I don't want us to go because even that one Ukraine, the president is following certain path. We just don't want to talk because your president can't say as an African to go to America to go and tell about Burkina Faso, now you go there, you go and say, I mean, where we belong or where we support as a country. Anyway,
what I mean is that Russia and Ukraine, COVID, whatever, idea justification is wrong because they young and as I had in the field, of course, and Cuba Ghana, the cocoa board, I advise cocoa for say, among fun cocoa bini,
yes,
and fungu. Or more
instead of fertilizer, fair enough.
Then when he was pushed further, was say Russia and Ukraine in fertilizer no. Russia and Ukraine talk a Korea 2014. How much fertilizer free?
Yeah.
So that is why I'm saying.
No, they have been told say I catch from I said they should say that. They keep on saying that and let's just say they will be absolved or
that is the point.
Said they are blame on to almost. But that is disrespect too, isn't it?
So the NDC and John Mahama in 2020, and we are continuing it.
Yes.
Yeah, the BB a friend in the big push.
The big push, yeah.
And non the changing.
Mr. Tell me a bit because what is exactly was the big push? Yeah, about 5 minutes.
The turn around of everything. When they solve problem. The big push in say project BIA na Eshasia under John Mahama. Their friend Kuku Roots. Their friend is community day schools.
Yes.
Their friend of hospitals. E-block. Their friend of hospitals. Their friend of markets.
Yes.
Their friend of airports. All these projects, housing, any I don't know. Now the Danko Akufuadu Aba, ye German na Kungremuno. So your contractor now we are more of any of these projects. Immediately, John Mahama is declared a winner. Go back to site and start working.
I don't know. Can one guy what mention housing? Mean say for the love of money. Say amount for ACC dying if I say 5,000. They see when they pro. When you find 5,000. When you find some discount, you find some great. And you're dying. People should live in.
So we are saying that
Jesus Christ.
And now I mean, look at when we are coming here, BBC, and one of your MPs, after 10 years, yeah, in investigations after 10 years, yeah, baby, when he's been suspended for
6 days,
some days, I say it looks likely there's going to be a by-election. So crime there, it has no expiry date
at all.
And then yes, Ghanaians need a dino to stay.
Of course,
we can do simultaneous work. Yeah, allocated dynamic Ghana for.
Yes.
None near or Shema BB. That's all. That's all. I say
doesn't make sense.
Say you will be a call a court. Near the dining it is only a wicked government, but you know why you do it? Because you see, as at now, Nana don't mean commission terminal 3.
Okay.
And that is the reason as Aglamedaho, if they are allocating it, they will have to go there and let every Ghanaian know, say, John Muhammad see, okay. If they go and commission Terminal 3, airport at Tessa, Nana to me commission toilet. None any agent or bonning some. But when any reason why Terminal 3 no a man ne ba adwuma Terminal 3 so
how about the proper factory as commander?
Ya jama na say say ton am obi foforo. See all these things. All these things and the reason ti out ya brochire ha. Na say ma wani magana. Wa de won to abani bidie. But the people that depends on you, the people that look up to you, the people that you can control. So when me an kan kire wo mo so mo nsesa ban we ya te ho no mo. And yeah, and you Ghana phone kwan na bebro.
Let me tell you this. Me and TV frame. I was from Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa me say, I feel the mama Musa do. So, I was hey, man, I'm missing coming you pin when I say man. Oh, yeah, of course. Okay, of course. What's mama Musa do? Well, say I'm full just say. Listen, guys, you can't say we will talk till tomorrow.
Yeah.
A lot to talk about, but for those of you watching us on YouTube, thank you very much. Some few people tried to call. I've received some messages. You wanted to call to ask questions, and I'm saying just because we just decided to do the TV, and we had problems with the Facebook. We didn't want to bring in the viewer caller. Another time, I am assuring you that these things will be possible, and you can phone in. For now, I will say a big thank you to my guest, Mr. Mustapha Gbande. He is the deputy
Gbande. Is
it GB as pronouncing Gbande? Yeah. So Mr. Gbande Mustapha, he is the deputy general secretary of the NDC. That's the political party in opposition in Ghana. They are vying seriously to return to governance or government. They want to be in power come 2024. Their leader is one and the only Mr. Mahama Dramani. They say agroni form. I mean, according to them, he is very formidable. And Ghanaians really, I think they are fed up with what is happening. They want to change. The next one, he's the Kumasi boy, Mr. Yammin himself. Joseph is here. He was, in fact, been here in London for a while to do various things. And tonight, he has come here to speak to me, to you guys, through Mansa Musa, through the portal of NFM TV. Hopefully, this won't be the last time. I don't know when they will be leaving. I wish them all the best, safe journey. And as we say, tomorrow to be another day. We'll do it all over again. Thank you very much for watching and have a good night.